I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're discussing the IWC Pilot Spitfire, reference 3878-04. You can see the stainless steel flyback chronograph on our website. Purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch with additional accessories included, high-resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details. On my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, this 43mm steel watch is a sort of intermediate size within the IWC Pilot's range. Bigger than the Mark 18 and its 40mm span, it's also considerably more compact than the 46mm Big Pilot. The 43mm measurement doesn't include chronograph pushers or crown, but the watch does have a wonderfully compact lug-to-lug span. For a timepiece larger than 42mm, 53mm from extremity to extremity makes this watch wearable on a smaller wrist, as does the dramatic downturn of the lugs on both flanks. The watch really wraps itself over and around the wrist rather than jutting outward and creating the appearance of ill proportion on a smaller forearm. You can wear this watch down to perhaps a wrist circumference of 14.5 centimeters with absolute sense of security and proportion. Now, in terms of thickness, the watch wears thinner than it is, 16 centimeters in absolute girth. You can see that first the step of the case flank and then the slope of the double-stepped conical bezel makes it easier for a tight sleeve to ride up and over this watch than if its flanks were completely sheer. Now, the timepiece does have impressive heft to it. From an ergonomic standpoint, it's hefty, but it's well balanced, and a big part of the balance equation comes from the exceptionally high-grade multi-link bracelet and deployant clasp. Now you can see that the 5-link bracelet is comprised of small links, which means that it flexes quite easily. Moreover, it bends straight down at the point where it departs the case, so if you do have a smaller wrist, it doesn't have any tendency to flare or fight the curve of your forearm. Again, an ergonomic argument once more in favor of this watch. Now, because of the small links, the watch is easy to bend around a tighter forearm, and because it is individually sizable, you can actually see the release dimples underneath each individual link. You can micro-size this bracelet by taking out any of the links on either side. Moreover, you can completely dismantle the bracelet should you want to give it a deep cleaning. Now, you can also see that there are generous channels in between these links, so the bracelet is disinclined to pull hair or pinch skin. And it's matched to a superb twin-trigger actuated deployant clasp. You can see because of the twin trigger, it has to be positively released. It can't accidentally pop open. And you can see that internally, it's not just completely finished, but it uses contrasting finish, both polished and engine-turned surfaces. Very handsome. Perhaps its best-kept secret and most intriguing feature is the slider. The push-button slider, just press the IWC logo, gives you 10mm and incremental adjustment so that you can precisely size the watch as the occasion dictates. So you can size the bracelet, but let's say you're out and it's very hot and your wrist expands. Simply slide it out. Now, if it's cold or you're inactive, simply slide it back in, micro-sizing on the fly without any intervention of a jeweler's tool. The dial features the classic Spitfire design signatures that IWC has pioneered since 2003 with the very first Spitfires, namely all applied numerals, in this case stylized and fully loomed Arabic, and a beautiful metallic texture to the dial. Now, where previous Spitfires used more of a silver-on-silver color scheme, here IWC smartly employs what it calls ardoise or anthracite. It's darker, it has a bit more power, and because it starts dark, it's more dramatically affected when light does strike it. It has a sunburst pattern radiating out from the cannon pinion at center with a separate guilloche cut within each of the sub-registers. Beautifully considered. It also has multiple planes, stepping down from the minutes and seconds outer track to the dial base to the sub-registers, right down to the careful aesthetic attention paid to the triple date mechanism, and you can see that there is a small step of that aperture to ease the break from the dial base to the disc. Now, this model was built between 2012, when the triple date debuted, and 2015, when the last of the triple dates were constructed. So you know that it's a fairly uncommon reference built for just a few model years. Now, it's beautifully loomed, and it's also beautifully motivated. On the case back, you can see the famed elliptical wing Spitfire World War II British fighter plane that gives the line its name, the namesake aircraft covering an IWC 89-365 caliber that features flyback action, so you can reset and restart it with a single push of the reset trigger, and it also features a superb 68-hour power reserve courtesy of IWC's shock-protected and long-running Peloton-based bidirectional winding system. It also features hacking seconds, so if you pull the crown to extremity, you stop the balance, as well as a quick set function for the date. So should the watch run down and require correction, you can rapidly cycle until you find the correct date. The timepiece is beautifully built inside and out, with a manufacturer movement, a handsome and distinctive dial, and wearability across a broad range of wrists. This timepiece is nothing if not versatile. You can see this IWC Pilot Spitfire and purchase it on our website.